Today we will explore a fascinating practice based on Buddhist teachings that can help you attract prosperity and protect yourself from poverty. Discover how placing a simple coin in 7 strategic places in your home or personal space can transform the energy around you and open the doors to abundance. If you're looking to improve your financial well-being and harmonize your space, don't miss these valuable recommendations. Get ready to learn how small actions can have a big impact on your life. Over time, I've learned that money isn't just a piece of metal or paper. It's an energy that responds to how we live and organize our space. In Buddhist teachings, we understand that everything around us has its own vibration, from the wind that touches a tree to how we arrange objects in our homes. Now, if you know how to channel that energy into the right spots, prosperity comes without resistance. It doesn't matter if you have little or a lot. What matters is the balance you create around you. Are you ready to discover the 7 key places where a simple coin can make all the difference? If you stay until the end, you'll not only learn the 7 places to attract money, but I'll also share a golden tip from my personal experience to attract abundance into your life. That's my promise to you. Manifest with me in the comments. Abundance comes easily into my life. Now let's begin. 1. The front entrance. A long time ago, in a village surrounded by mountains, there lived a humble farmer named Leon. Leon wasn't wealthy, but he always had enough to live. Every day at dawn, he would throw open the doors of his home, bow his head in gratitude and say, "Welcome, fortune. Enter whenever you wish. My door will always be open." One day, a traveller arrived in the village, an elderly sage with a deep gaze and a serene smile. Tired from his journey, he approached Leon's home in search of water. Leon, with his usual generosity, offered him not only water, but also warm bread and a place to rest. Before leaving, the elder took a small gold coin from his bag and left it on the doorstep. Curious, Leon asked, "Why do you leave that coin here?" The sage replied, "It's a symbol of gratitude for your hospitality. Each time you cross this door and see the coin, you will remember that there is always abundance in your home. Fortune always calls on those who open their doors with generosity." From that day on, Leon noticed something curious. Although his land didn't expand and his work didn't increase, he always had more than enough. New customers started coming to his small market, and even in the worst harvest seasons, his pantry never went empty. Leon then understood that his fortune didn't come from excessive effort, but from the energy that entered through his door, nurtured by his openness and gratitude. The front entrance of your home is more than just a door. It's the gateway through which all the energy that nourishes your life, your opportunities, relationships, and even your financial prosperity flows. By placing a coin near the entrance, you're not only inviting money, but also gratitude. Each time you cross that threshold, you'll remember that fortune always calls to those willing to receive it with open arms. So choose a spot near your door, a pot, a mat, or a small plant. Leave a coin there, and each time you enter or leave your house, pause for a second, bow your head like Leon, and say to yourself, "Welcome, fortune." The most important thing is not the coin itself, it's the intention you set with it. The open door reflects your willingness to receive and be grateful for what life has to offer. And remember, prosperity doesn't always come in the form of gold. Sometimes it comes in the form of an unexpected visitor, a new opportunity, or even a simple moment of peace. 2. The kitchen. Centuries ago, in a small monastery hidden among the hills, lived an old woman named May. May wasn't a nun, but she dedicated her life to preparing meals for pilgrims who arrived at the temple seeking rest. Although she had little to offer, her kitchen was always full of life. A warm soup, a simple bowl of rice, and a cup of tea to warm the soul. One especially harsh winter hit the region. Supplies were scarce, and provisions were minimal. The monks concerned told May, "It's better to ration the food, otherwise we won't survive until the next season." May smiled calmly, took a bronze coin from the bottom of an old drawer and placed it on the kitchen shelf. "As long as this coin is here," May said, "our kitchen will never be empty." True abundance is not in what you keep, but in what you share. Every time we cook, let's remember that there is enough for everyone. The monks, though skeptical, accepted her decision. Days passed, and each time May served a dish, she said a small prayer. May this food nourish body and soul. May there always be sustenance in this house. Surprisingly, though the sacks of rice dwindled and the oil ran low, there was always something to cook. It wasn't much, but it was enough. Pilgrims continued arriving, and no one left without tasting a warm meal. One day a grateful traveller left a basket full of food, flour, honey, and fresh vegetables. "I never thought I'd find hospitality in such hard times," said the traveller. May, with her serene smile, replied, "Abundance is not a miracle, it's the intention with which you live each day." And with those words she took the coin from the shelf, rubbed it between her hands, and put it back in her secret drawer. In the kitchen, you're not only preparing food, you're also preparing energy. What you cook and how you serve it reflects your relationship with abundance. When you keep a coin in a corner of your kitchen, it's not just an amulet, it's a reminder that there is always enough to share, even in the hardest times. Each time you prepare a meal or serve a cup of tea, think of May. Dedicate a thought to those with whom you share your table and the act of giving, because wealth is not only in what you consume, but in what you give. Prosperity is not a full pantry, it's a generous heart and a calm mind that knows that everything you give somehow returns to you. Leave a coin in your kitchen, and each day as you see it, remind yourself that there will always be something to offer. And when you share that cup of tea, do it like May, with gratitude and trust that there will always be enough. 3. Under a plant. Hundreds of years ago, in a temple hidden in the mountains, there lived a young disciple named Li. Li was eager to learn everything his master could teach him. "I want to achieve wisdom and prosperity quickly. Master, tell me the secret to obtaining both," he begged one day. The elderly master, with a serene smile, handed him a small seed and a copper coin. "Plant this seed, and when it blooms, bury the coin under its roots. Only then will you understand what you seek." Li, though puzzled, did as his master instructed. He dug a small hole, placed the seed, and began watering it every day, expecting it to sprout quickly. At first, nothing happened. Each morning Li would go to the garden, impatient to see any sign of life. However, the soil remained still, with no trace of growth. Frustrated, Li went to see his master. "Master, I've watered the seed, tended the soil, but nothing grows. What's the use of all this effort if I see no results?" The master looked at him calmly and replied, "The seed will not grow because you push it. It will grow when it's time, no sooner and no later. Patience is the first step to true prosperity." Weeks passed, then months, until one day, almost without realizing it, a small green shoot appeared in the soil. When the plant finally bloomed, Li felt a calm he had never experienced. He took the copper coin, carefully dug beneath the roots, and buried it there, just as his master had taught him. At that moment the elder appeared beside him and said, "Now you understand, Li. The coin you buried is not a simple object, it represents your intention. Every day you cared for this plant, you also cultivated patience and the certainty that everything arrives in its time. Prosperity, too, is sown with small acts and blooms when you're ready to receive it." When you bury a coin in the soil of a plant, you're doing more than hiding money. You're planting a promise. Every time you see that plant grow, with each new leaf that emerges, remember that prosperity is a process, not an event. Like a good gardener, you must cultivate your life with patience, dedication, and care. Just as the plant blooms in its own time, so too will your abundance arrive, but not before you're prepared to receive it. True wealth is not about how much you possess, but about how much you learn to trust life's natural cycles. As Li learned in his garden, everything has its moment, neither sooner nor later, but exactly when it's meant to be. So find a plant in your home, whether a small succulent or a larger tree, and bury a coin in its soil. Each time you care for it, remember that you're nurturing your intention for prosperity. Don't rush, don't despair. Life blooms in its own rhythm. You only need to be present to see it grow. 4. The southeast corner. There's a corner in every home where the energy of prosperity finds its natural dwelling. In many cultures, the southeast is associated with the vibration of wealth. Just as a seed knows where to extend its roots to find water, the energy of money knows to find its shelter in this space. A coin placed here is not merely a piece of metal, it's a silent reminder that abundance is always present, waiting for us to discover it. Centuries ago, in a remote Asian monastery, lived a monk famous for his wisdom in attracting spiritual and material prosperity without apparent effort. Disciples and villagers came to him with questions about improving their lives. One day, a desperate merchant visited him, overwhelmed by poverty despite working tirelessly. "Master Bao, I have a business that never prospers. No matter how hard I work, money always slips through my fingers. Please teach me how I can bring wealth." The elderly monk listened patiently and after a few moments of reflection said, "Wealth isn't always found where we seek it, but there is a corner in your home that has been waiting to be illuminated. Go to your house, find the southeasternmost corner and place a coin there. You don't need to do more for now, only observe." The merchant couldn't understand how such a simple act could change his luck, but decided to follow the monk's advice. He placed a coin in the southeastern corner of his home, between an old chest and some forgotten fabrics, without any expectations. But the next day he sensed something different. The corner that had once seemed dark and neglected now seemed more alive, as if sunlight had found it for the first time. As days passed, he noticed small opportunities began to arise, new clients, improved relationships, and finally a large sale that transformed his business completely. What changed in the merchant's life? Was it merely luck? Later, the monk Bao explained, "The southeast corner of your home reflects how you manage wealth within yourself. By placing the coin there, what you actually did was open a path for the energy of money. It's not just about the metal of the coin, it's about intention. Like lighting a candle in a dark room, a simple action can reveal things that were always there but that you had never seen." The merchant then understood that wealth is not only a matter of hard work, but also of clarity and openness. The coin was a symbolic anchor, able to keep the energy of money in his space without it slipping away. Over time, he learned that more important than working tirelessly is having a heart and a home open to prosperity. When you place a coin in the southeastern corner of your home, you're not just decorating a forgotten space, you're making a silent call to prosperity. It's like telling the universe, here is a place prepared for wealth to feel welcome. It's not only about money, but about all forms of abundance, meaningful relationships, unexpected opportunities, and moments of deep gratitude. Like the merchant in the story, you may not see immediate results, but in time you'll begin to notice small changes. Things that once seemed impossible become possible. Energy moves in subtle ways, and your task is simply to open the door. Find the southeast corner of your home or room, whether it's decorated or a neglected space. Clean the area with intention, perhaps lighting a candle or burning incense to purify the energy. Then take a coin, any coin you have on hand, and while holding it, close your eyes for a moment and visualize what you wish to attract into your life. Not just money, but everything you consider a form of wealth. Then place the coin in the corner with the certainty that this simple act has already begun transforming your reality. Each time you pass by that corner, do so with gratitude. It doesn't matter if the coin is visible or hidden behind an object. What's important is that its energy is there, anchoring the intention of abundance in your home. Prosperity, like light, has always been around you. You only need to find the places where you haven't yet let it in. The southeast corner isn't magical in itself, it's a reflection of your inner readiness to receive. Just as the merchant's coin attracted the wealth he was ready to receive, you too can prepare your space, your mind, and your heart so that abundance flows effortlessly. Please teach me the secret to attract money without wasting time, Jun said. Master Liang, with a gentle smile, handed him a small box carved from ancient wood. It was a simple jewelry box, devoid of embellishments or visible wealth. Take this box with you for a year, Liang said, and every time you feel that you're lacking something, place a coin inside. It doesn't matter if it's a small copper coin or a shiny silver one. What's important is that you do it with intention. At the end of the year, open the box and you'll find the answer you seek. Jun felt disappointed. A box, that's it, he thought. However, respecting the wisdom of his master, he accepted the challenge. Throughout the year, every time he experienced lack, worry, or frustration, he placed a coin in the box just as the master had instructed. At first, Jun did it without thinking too much, but over time he began to notice something curious. The simple act of placing the coin made him feel lighter, more at peace. Gradually he realized that each coin was more than just a piece of metal. It was a symbol of gratitude, a trust that there would always be more. When a year had passed, Jun returned to Master Liang, eager to open the box and discover what treasure it contained. With trembling hands, he opened the jewelry box. Inside, he found all the coins he had saved, each one shining under the sunlight that streamed through the temple window. The young man looked at the master with some confusion. "Is this all? Where is the wealth I expected?" Master Liang, with the same calm that had accompanied him for years, replied, "Jun, the wealth you sought was not in the coins, but in what you learned by placing them there. Each time you put a coin in that box, you strengthened your trust in future abundance. What you see here is not just a handful of coins, it's the reflection of a year of patience, gratitude, and certainty. The true treasure is not the coin itself, but the serenity you have cultivated by trusting the process. Storing coins in a box or jewelry box is like burying small seeds of gratitude and faith. It doesn't matter how much you have right now. What matters is the intention behind each coin you save. These coins become anchors that connect you with the abundance that already exists in your life, even if you sometimes don't see it clearly. Every time you open that box, you're not just counting coins, you're reminding yourself that prosperity doesn't always come in the form of great fortunes, but in the small gestures of daily life. Each coin is a silent reminder that there is always more to come. As Jun learned, the true value lies not in the coins, but in what they symbolize. Prosperity is an energy that grows when we nurture it with gratitude and patience. It's not about how much you have today, but how you choose to trust that there will always be enough for tomorrow. So next time you place a coin in a box or jewelry box, do it with the certainty that you're planting the seed of abundance in your life. And remember, the greatest treasure is not external wealth, but the inner peace that arises from knowing that no matter what happens, there will always be enough for you. Now it's your turn. Find a special box, save a coin, and start your own ritual of prosperity. Don't underestimate the power of small gestures. They are the ones that transform our lives completely over time. If this teaching resonates with you, subscribe to Buddhist Wisdom and join us on this path of growth and spiritual abundance. And remember, where there is gratitude, there will always be abundance. ***. 6. The bedroom. The bedroom is a refuge, a sacred space where the body rests and the soul renews itself. Placing a coin under the pillow or near the headboard is a symbolic act. Even when your eyes are closed, your intention remains awake. It's like leaving a candle burning in the dark, reminding us that prosperity also works silently while we sleep. Long ago, in a small village crossed by caravan paths, there lived a merchant named Gay. Gay had devoted his entire life to tireless work, but despite his efforts, he never seemed to prosper. Every coin he earned slipped through his fingers, as if wealth were a dream he always woke up from before reaching it. Tired and desperate, he decided to seek advice from a traveling monk known for his wisdom and ability to transform lives. "Master, why can't I ever prosper? I work tirelessly, but nothing yields for me. What must I do to bring the abundance I so long for?" The monk, with a compassionate look, replied, Gay, the problem is not how much you work during the day, but what your heart carries while you sleep. If you want to attract prosperity, you must begin by clearing your mind before resting. Sleep is the moment when your deepest desires find space to flourish. The merchant, confused, asked, "How can I achieve that? How do I make my dreams work in my favor?" The monk took a small copper coin from his pocket and placed it in Gay's hand. "Every night before you go to bed, place this coin under your pillow and let it represent the abundance you desire. Do not think of your debts or worries. Instead, be grateful for what you already have and sleep with the certainty that prosperity will come." As the dew falls on the fields at dawn, Gay followed the monk's instructions every night without fail. He placed the coin under his pillow. At first he didn't notice any changes, but over time, his attitude toward life began to transform. Instead of going to bed worried, he started to appreciate simple things: the food on his table, the health of his family, and the roof that protected him. One night, Gay had a dream where he walked through a vast golden field beneath a cloudless sky. With every step he took, flowers bloomed around him. In the dream, he understood that abundance was not something external to chase, but something that arose from within him, like those flowers blossoming at his feet. Upon waking, he felt different, lighter, filled with hope. The days that followed not only brought him new business opportunities, but also an inner peace he had never known. Every coin he earned seemed to yield more, as if it carried a hidden blessing, and it all had begun with a coin under his pillow. Sleep is much more than just physical rest. It's the moment when your subconscious mind works silently, planting seeds for the future. Placing a coin near your headboard or under your pillow is a simple yet powerful ritual. It's like telling your spirit, "Even while I rest, I trust that prosperity will come." A mind that sleeps with gratitude awakens to new opportunities. You don't need to know how or when. You just need to trust that what you plant in your dreams will flourish in your reality. Coins are not just symbols of wealth. They remind us that even in moments of stillness, life continues to move in our favor. Remember, prosperity is not always measured in coins or material wealth. Sometimes the greatest abundance is the peace you feel in knowing you have everything you need here and now. If you can sleep with gratitude, you will awaken to new opportunities. The coin under your pillow is not just an amulet. It's a seed that nourishes your faith in the future, even while you sleep. So tonight, before closing your eyes, place a coin under your pillow and rest with the certainty that life always finds ways to bless you, even when you're not looking. Mirrors and fountains are not ordinary objects. They possess a hidden power that few people know about. They are energy portals capable of amplifying everything placed near them. When you place a coin next to a mirror or a fountain, you are inviting abundance to multiply, just like the expanding reflection seen in a mirror, or the ripples that grow when a drop falls into water. Your prosperity doubles, expands, and flows endlessly. An ancient legend tells that many centuries ago, there existed a grand palace known as the Palace of Mirrors. It was such a magical place that upon entering, every emotion, thought, or intention of the visitors was reflected throughout the premises. The mirrors not only showed the external appearance, but also revealed the inner state of each person gazing into them. One day, a young farmer named Hyan arrived at the palace in search of fortune. He had heard rumors that anyone who entered with good intentions would leave enriched, but those with dark thoughts or greed would come out empty-handed. Eager to change his fate, Hyan entered the great hall, where hundreds of mirrors surrounded him, each reflecting his image from every angle. At that moment, his mind filled with doubts. What if I'm not worthy enough? What if I never find the fortune I seek? As he looked at his reflection, the mirrors began to multiply his insecurities, showing hundreds of versions of himself filled with fear and worry. Hyan felt the energy of the place become heavy, as if his own doubts were trapping him. Desperate, he decided to run out. Just before crossing the exit, an old guardian of the palace stopped him. Young man, the palace is not the problem. It's your heart that reflects what you find here. If you want to leave with something of value, you must enter with something of value first. Haiyan, confused, asked, "What must I do then?" The elder offered him a small bronze coin and said, "Place it in front of any mirror, and instead of asking for something, give thanks for what you already have, even if it's little. The reflection is nothing more than an extension of your intention." He untook the coin and placed it in front of one of the oldest mirrors in the palace. Instead of asking for fortune, he closed his eyes and whispered, "Thank you for the small blessings I already have. Thank you for the strength in my body, for the friends who accompany me, and for every opportunity, even if I do not yet see it clearly." When he opened his eyes, something wonderful happened. His reflection in the mirrors changed. Instead of a worried young man, he saw a man at peace, surrounded by multiple images of himself, smiling and calm. It was as if each version of himself in the mirror held the coin, multiplying his gratitude and reflecting prosperity from all angles. Haiyan left the palace with the certainty that wealth was not something he would find in a distant place, but something he himself had to cultivate from within. From that day on, his life changed. Every time he earned a coin, he placed it near a mirror in his home, knowing that each reflection was a promise of abundance to come. Just as mirrors multiply what they see, fountains of water keep energy in constant motion. Water never stops. It flows, falls, rises again, and with every drop carries an intention. Placing a coin next to a fountain is like whispering to life to never stop flowing abundance along your path. Every time the water runs, you're sending a message to the universe. I'm ready to receive again and again. In another ancient story, it is said that a master named Zhe took his disciple to a river that never ceased to flow. He asked the young man to take a coin and throw it into the water. "Master, why throw a coin into the river? Isn't that a waste?" The master smiled and replied, "The water is never wasted, young man. It flows, travels, but always returns in another form. When you give something with sincere intention, it returns to you multiplied, just like water transforms into rain, snow, and vapor, only to return to the river." From that day on, the disciple learned to trust in the natural flow of life. He understood that, like water, prosperity does not always come immediately, but it always finds its way back. Remember that both mirrors and water have a simple yet profound message. What you give with intention comes back to you. Mirrors multiply what you carry within, so choose thoughts of gratitude and trust. Water teaches us that life is always in motion, flowing toward us in ways we sometimes do not expect. Prosperity is not a race against time, but a dance with the energy of the universe. Place a coin near a mirror or a source of water and let life do the rest. Trust that what you plant today, you will harvest abundantly tomorrow. Now, as I promised at the beginning of the video, I will share my golden advice with you. If there's something life has taught me, it's this. True abundance begins with gratitude. I have seen how those who appreciate the little they have end up receiving more than they ever imagined. It doesn't matter how many coins you place or how many rituals you perform. If your heart is not full of gratitude, you will always feel that something is missing. Over the years, I've come to cherish every simple moment, a refreshing glass of water, a heartfelt conversation, a day free of worries. When you wake up in the morning, pause before thinking about what you lack. Take a moment to appreciate what is already part of your life. Cultivating gratitude sends a powerful signal to the universe. I'm ready to receive more because I value what I have now. Remember, we don't attract what we want. We attract what we are. When you embody gratitude, you draw even more reasons to feel grateful. That is the most important lesson I can share. Not as a teacher, but as a fellow traveller on this path, still learning as you are. Now that you know these 7 powerful places, I invite you to try it for yourself. Share in the comments where you'll place your first coin. If you enjoyed this and want more insights, Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on transformative Buddhist teachings. Until next time, dear friends.